Hey, this is Cardstacker Scott Dyer, and I'm going to talk today about a new product that's on the market, which is relevant to card stacking. It's called the Cartamundi Cardstackers, and it's done as a collaboration between Cartamundi and Bryan Berg. It has 825 cards. It comes in this nice, compact, colorful, attractive packaging, and this one was signed by Bryan Berg, and I believe that if you order these from his website, cardstacker.com, that he will be signing new editions as they're shipped out to you. Now, what it is a kit designed to help those who want to get into card stacking learn how to do it and give them everything that they need to get started. So let's open it up and take a look what's inside. All right, put this over here. All right, so inside, the first thing you see is there's two more signed cards by Bryan Berg. The first is a business card, which has his contact information and some stuff about his world record. And then the other is an Ace of Clubs, which is from the Cardstackers cards, which are the cards specifically designed for card stacking. And that's what makes this kit really cool, is the cards. Set those aside. All right, we've got an instruction booklet. Thin, but very informative. I've already looked through it. And I will be getting back to that as well in a few minutes. We have some card starters. These are the gadget I was talking about, and I will demonstrate how to use that and what it's intended to be used for in a minute. But first, let's talk about the cards. Now, the cards in this kit were specifically designed for card stacking, which makes them unique. They're the first deck actually made to make card stacking easier as an entry point into card stacking. Most cards that you get, whether they be bicycle cards or B cards or other high quality cards, are glossy, and they have sort of an air cushion finish or some nice finish which makes them very slippery, which is nice when you're using them to play cards. However, it's not that great for card stacking, and it's actually easier to card stack if you have the right cards. Now, what are the right cards? Cards that are good for card stacking are those that have a matte finish. It means it's not glossy. And one of the best decks that was around for a while, unfortunately is not manufactured anymore, was the Palmore cards by the US Playing Card Company. Now, they stopped making these, but Cartamundi picked up the slack. So, what makes them similar and or different from Palmore cards, which are what were the standard for card stacking for many years? Well, first of all, let's talk about the size. They're bridge-sized cards, which means that they're 3.5 by 2.25 inches. And what that means is that they're a 1/4 of an inch narrower than your poker cards, which would be your bicycle cards or things like that. Now, what that means in reality for card stacking is that you can build structures with a curved wall or something that have a tighter radius, because each card is narrower, and so you can basically make a stadium or a dome that has a nice tight bowl shape to it because the cards are narrower. So that's a good thing, and it's very useful. It also helps make horizontal and vertical structures match up a little bit nicer, because like every 2 vertical ends up being approximately 3 horizontal layers. So it's a nice feature to have bridge-sized cards as opposed to poker cards. All right, now thickness-wise, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 100 cards, and these are 100 cards of the Cardstackers cards, and then these are 100 of the Palmore brand, and I'm going to put them side by side. On the left of your screen is the Cartamundi Cardstackers cards. On the right of your screen is the Palmore cards. Now, you can see that the Cartamundi Cardstackers are slightly thicker. It actually will help make the structures a little bit sturdier and add more weight to the structure, which makes them sturdier. So I like that. Very nice. So overall, very impressed with the cards. The one thing that I hope in the future with these cards is that they come in bulk, meaning I don't have to buy a million of these kits just to get a whole bunch of cards. I would love to be able to buy these individually from Cartamundi directly. All right, let me try making something with one of these card starters. So there's actually numbers on here, and all you have to do is take a card, place it in slot number 1. Now, you take another card and you place it in slot number 2. Take one more card, place it in slot number 3, and finally a 4th card, and place it in slot number 4. Boom. Very easy, perfectly spaced grid. Pretty neat. I like this idea. And you can place cards on top of it, this, maybe 2 more, opposite, and then you can take another one and you can place that right on top and use that to build. Now, it's actually a little bit strange building a card starter on top of a card starter for me, but that's just because I'm an experienced card stacker. What this does show you is that it's very easy to put things on top of cards. They're really actually quite strong, and boom, there we go, there's another layer. Let's do one more. This is so easy. I've never actually built with cheating like this before. It's actually a little bit difficult. Not difficult, but it feels weird. It's foreign to me. All right, and finally, let's put 2 more cards. I'm like realizing that I don't have to worry about anything. Like, I'm not going to knock this down in any way, shape, or form. All right, let's put 1 more on top. Boom. Kind of crazy. I didn't know that I could do this. Now, it's kind of weird. All right, so anyway, that's card starters. Why there's 16 of them, I don't know. Maybe later on we'll be able to use them to throw at things. I have no idea, but cool idea. All right. Other thing I forgot to mention about the cards, they have pretty cool jokers. They're actually building tips, and what's really funny is that the joker guy next to the house of cards is based on Bryan Berg, so it's a little tribute to Bryan, and it's clearly his face. Very cool idea, and I love jokers in any deck of cards, but these are pretty neat. Pretty neat way to put something informative and helpful, but also keep it fun and have that Joker-esque feel. Ace of Spades. Everyone always wants to know what the Ace of Spades looks like. I think it's pretty darn cool. It's got the, again, the theme of the card grid. How about the instruction booklet? In the instruction booklet, there's a lot of ideas of how to get started. It teaches you all the basic units of stacking. It teaches you the cell. It teaches you how to use a card starter to make a cell and how to expand that cell into a grid. It tells you how to fence the grid, how to edge the grid, how to put a roof on that grid in a zigzag fashion, how to build, start building towers by putting a cell on top of another cell on top of another cell, how you can build cells in a row and make a wall of boxes or box cells. All the basics of how you can take that basic unit of card stacking, the cell, and modify it ever so slightly to meet your needs and make different looking shapes. Finally, it goes into making curved shapes, fencing in curved ways, building vertically, and then gets into actual projects. The beginner build, and then through to advanced structures, expert structures, intermediate builds, and everything. What I'm going to do tomorrow is build every project in this book, and then we will have all of them up. I'll be able to review how the cards actually stack. I think they're going to be good, but I will be able to report to you how they actually build and how they feel when you're actually making card structures with them instead of just touching them. Now, I'm only going to have 825 cards. So I'm going to use these cards to build the Empire State Building, which is one of the larger structures in this book. It's a small Empire State Building. It's on the cover here, right here. It says that you can build that using all 825 cards. Now I'm going to see if that's true. I'm going to build this structure, this Empire State Building, to the specifications of the instruction manual and see if I can do it with 825 cards. All right, and then for the other structures, I'm going to fill in with my own personal stash of other cards. Okay, so that's Card Stacker Kit in a nutshell. It's a really cool idea by Bryan and Cartamundi to make this and really lower that level of entry for people who always kind of wanted to try card stacking but weren't quite sure what cards they should use or what they should do and how they get started. So it's really, really a cool idea, and I hope it catches on. I hope it brings card stacking to a lot of new children and adults as well around the world, and really fosters a community of card stackers who will be creating and innovating in new ways. And I really look forward to new people getting into this art, and because I believe there's a lot left to be discovered and a lot of innovation left to be had. So it would be really, really neat to see that happen.